and the fashion was just so out there. Just living for it. It's one of my favorite things ever. The only reason that this is not number one on my list is Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In my previous video I talked about all the Taylor Swift highlights for 2023. But in this video I wanted to discuss my personal favorites of 2023. I also wanted to share what my goals are for 2024. I'm also going to talk about why it's important to have goals, how to plan them the right way, and how to get back into routine after the holidays. Because let's face it, none of us stuck to our routines in December. Here are my top 5 things of 2023. Number 5. Seeing the Russian Ballet Theatre's production of Swan Lake at Monte Cassino. It has always been on my bucket list to see a live ballet performance from a professional ballet company such as the Russian Ballet Theatre, and this year that wish came true. So on August 6, 2023, I went to watch this with my boyfriend's mother and aunts. We got to dress really classy, it's a formal event, and it was just a magical experience. The sets and set changes was mind-blowing, the costumes were so beautiful, and the dances and the story was just amazing. I was mesmerized the entire time. It was one of my favorite moments of 2023. I'm super excited for 2024 because we are going to watch The Sound of Music and Mamma Mia at Monte Cassino in the Teatro, which is another 2 of my bucket list musicals that I've always wanted to see in live theatre. It's actually my bucket list to see them on Broadway, but I'm sure these local productions will be just as amazing. Number 4. Gossip Girl and Emily in Paris and Changing My Style. This year I finally watched Emily in Paris. I'm not sure how long it's been out. I take a while to finish TV shows. I usually watch 1 episode an evening, and then on some weekends I do binge watch like a little bit. Usually not so much that I finish an entire series on a weekend. Usually it takes me 3 to 6 months to finish a series. I think Emily in Paris only took me like 2 or 3 weeks because there's only 10 episodes and they're only like 20 minutes each. But I was so in love with it. I'm actually going to rewatch the whole thing when season 4 comes out. The series made me desperately want to live in Paris or at least visit it, which is also something that has always been on my bucket list. And the fashion was just so out there, but I found myself really liking it. Like, I probably wouldn't dress like that, but it's one of the reasons I was inspired to change my style this year. Like, I've been really into fashion and clothes for the past few years. It's become one of my passions. But 2023 was really the year it became very important to me, and the year I decided to change my style, and a lot of it has to do with the inspirations I had in 2023. Like, the vibe of Emily in Paris is just so girly and feminine, and it really inspired me to be more girly and feminine in the way I dress, and also the character of Emily I really resonate with. Gossip Girl has been on my bucket list to watch since forever. It was never available on our TV channels when I was a teen, and I only discovered it was on Netflix just when they took it off a few years ago. But this year they finally brought it back and I was so thrilled. It's literally become one of my favorite series ever, and the Blair and Chuck romance and love triangles, I'm just living for it. It's one of my favorite things ever and I'm super invested. I'm definitely on Team Chuck, but who knows who she is going to end up with in the end. I'm only at season 5, so please don't leave any spoilers in the comments. Then the style in this series I love. Blair is like old money, preppy. Serena is this it girl. Like, I can't decide whose style I like more. Character-wise, I love Blair. She's definitely my favorite character, and I do feel like she and Chuck are kind of the main characters, even though it's not all centered around them. But the storyline is definitely a little crazy and unrealistic at times, but I live for the drama. I'm literally so involved with the show and I'm going to cry when it's over. Who else wants to live on the Upper East Side because of the show? Number 3 is 1989 TV and watching 1989 World Tour, the Rep Tour, Miss Americana, the Fearless Tour, the Speak Now World Tour for the first time ever. Now I've watched each one about 2 to 3 times. Even though I've been a huge Swiftie since I was 11, I never knew the tours and the films were on YouTube and Netflix. I have no idea how I never discovered them before, but I did this year, and I've been rewatching them so many times to make up for the lost time. Like, it was such a highlight of this year, and I felt like I really became an even bigger Swiftie this year. I also discovered a lot of YouTubers who are major Swifties and whose content is about Taylor Swift. I would definitely recommend watching them if you are a Swiftie. These are Ali Sheehan, Nina Shelby, and Chats and Reacts. I'm sure there's a lot of others as well. Apart from Gossip Girl, it's like the only thing I've been watching recently because I have a few years of content to catch up on. I've definitely been sleeping on 1989, even though a lot of my favorite songs are on it. After I watched the tour on YouTube, I realized how many songs on it I didn't really know that well, and I got super into it, and I've been listening to 1989 songs a lot this year. Like, I got the Fearless, the Speak Now, and the Red albums when I was still in high school, and I used to listen to them over and over and over and over again, and that's the only albums that I had physically to listen to. This year definitely was a catalyst for me um, in starting to listen to literally all her songs. Um, well, not just this year, the past few years, but you know what I mean. um, so after I watched the tour on YouTube, I just fell so in love with 1989, and I'm so in love with You Are in Love. It's possibly my favorite song on that album, and then the re-record came out. I was so excited for it. I mean, the Volt tracks, I died. I mean, Slut and Is It Over Now are my favorite Volt tracks. I mean, all the tea. And just how poetic it is. Let me know what your favorite Volt tracks is in the comment below. I definitely can't get the lyrics out of my head. At least I had the decency to keep my nights out of sight, only rumors about my hips and thighs and my whispered sighs. Oh lord. I mean, just the way she says that. Number 2 is the Barbie movie. The Barbie movie is my second favorite thing this year because it just marked this year as the year of total feminine energy, girliness, and all things pink. I mean, the shops exploded with everything pink after the movie came out, and I still notice when I'm in the mall, like, everything is pink, and I love it. This year was definitely a catalyst for me in terms of personal style, and once again, Barbie inspired that. It's so weird to me that even before the movie came out, and before the hype around it, I was already thinking about changing my entire style from gothy girl to girly girl. And I started researching how to have a minimalist, clean girl fashion and how to completely reinvent my wardrobe and style. Like, I've had an obsession with clothes for many years now, but this year I started realizing that I want a more sustainable, practical wardrobe that I can have pieces with diverse purposes and that I can wear more than once a season, and maybe just one or two statement pieces for each season. But yeah, my style reverted to much more feminine and girly and pink, and to top it off, the Barbie movie came out and I became obsessed with pink everything again, like I used to before I turned like gothic. So I feel like my old self again, but also a better version of it. But that's a story for another video, which I will maybe do like a style evolution kind of video. I even bought myself some Barbie inspired outfits and a blonde wig, and I'm planning on doing a Barbie photo shoot for my birthday, which I'm super excited for. So yeah, Barbie really inspired my style this year, but I also just absolutely love the movie. It's literally one of my new favorite movies of all time. It's fun, it's girly, and I love the message. It inspired me so much that I'm having a pink themed birthday party this year, and you can't tell me anything about it. Continuing the theme of pink this year is going to be Mean Girls, which I'm really excited for, and I'm going to go watch it for my birthday. Starting the year off with more pink and girly, I think this is going to be another year for the girls. The only reason that this is not the Barbie movie, that it's not number one on my list, is because Taylor Swift had to come first, obviously. Because number one is the Eras Tour, the Eras Tour film, and the Eras Tour out. This is by far my favorite thing of 2023. How insane is it that we were blessed with the Barbie movie and the Eras Tour in one year? In my previous video I talked about the tour, but in this video I'm going to talk about why I loved it so much. I mean, the tour took the world by storm. It was so amazing, and I was so hoping that she would come to South Africa, but we know now that she isn't going to, which is very sad, and I'm still grieving. I'm still trying to manifest a way to see her live, which I've mentioned now in all my videos, so I promise I will stop talking about it. But even though I didn't know the movie was coming for most of the year, I still felt the excitement of the tour and following the moments of it. Like, if you have watched my other videos about how I became a Swiftie, you will know that I've been a Swiftie since I was 11. But in 2023, I became an even bigger Swiftie, more than I have ever been before. Like, this year just reignited my Swiftiness. I just realized what a great person she is, and the message from Miss Americana inspired me so much. And when I watched the Speak Now World Tour, I was so inspired to start pursuing my dreams again. And in 2023, Taylor just really inspired me so much with all her achievements and with the tour itself. And it rekindled my love for all her albums and eras because, like, for the past year, I've only been listening to Midnight, like, on repeat. Um, then the excitement for the movie and the tour itself, it just got me through some tough times. But when she announced the movie, I died. If you've seen my other videos, you will know that I've seen the movie 3 times now. The first time I went to a mall, also called The Grove, which is so cool, like the same place that the movie premiered, not in America but in South Africa. And I sat in seat A13. I had all kinds of snacks for each era, and I filmed almost every moment of it. The second time around, I didn't film as much because I just wanted to live in the moment and really enjoy it. But I was the only person in the film, and it did kind of make me sad. But having the theater to myself, I was literally dancing and singing as if I were really there. The third time, there were a few other girls in the movie with me, which was nice, and they sang the lyrics super loudly, and so I felt comfortable to do that, and it was just like a whole vibe. I also put the most effort into my outfit for the third time. The other 2 times I had Eras Tour t-shirts printed. The movie was just spectacular, just the whole vibe. I was already crying during the opening when the dancers with the parachutes came out, and I cried a lot, especially during Marjorie and Tolerated and Champagne Problems. I also can't wait to rent or buy the movie so I can watch The Archer and Wildest Dreams and 'Tis the Damn Season. I'm going to die, but I can't wait. The movie was my favorite moment of this year, and I can't wait to own it so I can watch it as many times as I want. I've also watched people's Eras Tour vlogs on YouTube like a million times, and I'm still not over it. Like, will we ever be over it? I don't think so. Like, there's just something about it that is so magical. Like, I mean, the choreo, the rep snake, the outfits, her vocals. I mean, her outfits are also the best thing that happened this year. I mean, what? The Lover bodysuit, the Midnight's outfit, the enchanted gown, the lavender haze coat, just everything. The tour and the movie is so nostalgic, but it's also so amazing to see Lover and Folklore and Evermore and Midnights being performed for the first time. Like, it really was a long time coming. This is the best thing that has happened to us this year, and I believe it will go down in history. It's definitely going down as my favorite thing ever, not just for 2023, but of all time. The only thing that could top this, and I'm gonna say it again, is if I got to see it in real life. So now I want to tell you guys about my goals for 2024. As you can see, and I haven't touched on this before, because I felt uncertain about talking about it, but as you can see, this is a very small channel. I'm still figuring out the logistics of making these videos. I'm still learning about editing. I'm still learning how to actually do the video while looking in the camera. I don't have a great quality camera. As you can see, my videos are not the best quality. I don't have the funds to afford one, but I'm just doing the best with what I have. And that is my first goal for 2024, to just do the best with what I have and trust that I will eventually have something better. Like last year I wanted to start this channel, but I kept procrastinating because I didn't believe it could really work, and I thought because my camera was really low quality, no one would watch my videos. But this year I have changed my mindset and realized if I never start, then I will never reach 1,000 subscribers or be able to monetize. I realized if I just start, eventually I will have the subscribers and I will be monetized. I will have the funds to procure better equipment for my videos. I also realized that I have great content ideas, and the content really matters, not just the quality of the video. So that's my second goal for this year, is after I've started with what I have, is to gain 1,000 subscribers by July, be able to monetize my channel, and to make YouTube my career. I'll take this moment in this video to ask you to please like and subscribe and share my channel with your friends. That way My content has a greater reach, I get to do what I love for a living, and you get this content for free, so it's a win-win situation. So my main goal for 2024 is basically to make YouTube my career by having my channel monetized. But a goal is nothing without taking action. Even though my channel is insanely small right now, like I have 4 subscribers and I'm literally talking to myself, I'm waking up every single morning and putting in the work. I am planning my content for the month, scripting videos, filming, editing, and publishing. My goal is to look back on this video in 2025 and see how far I have come. My second more personal goal for 2024 is to spend my free time practicing guitar, piano, and writing songs, and starting to share my own original songs on YouTube. My actual dream is to be a singer-songwriter, and there's probably no better time than the time we live in to make that happen for yourself. Like, I want to put my songs on YouTube and hopefully get noticed by the right people. It's a crazy idea, but I'm gonna try it. My third goal is all about my health and fitness. I want to work out harder and I want to push myself to build muscle and be fitter. I've worked out for a very long time without any actual results other than maintaining my weight because I haven't really pushed myself, and I'm honest with myself about that. What I really want to do now is work out for muscle and toning. That's why I'm getting up earlier this year and doing the work. I'm also going to eat much healthier. I've worked out a healthy meal plan for me and I'm sticking to it. I find it much easier to eat right when my meals are worked out already. My goal is not necessarily to lose weight, maybe a little because the holidays happen, but I really want to tone and build muscle this year. Then lastly, I want to work on myself. My self-care, my anxiety, my mental health, my habits, my self-education, my finances. I want to read self-help, motivational, and empowerment books every day. I want to meditate every morning and I want to focus on who I want to be as a person. I want to glow up and elevate my personal style. So those were some of my most important goals for 2024. So why is it important for me to have goals? And for that matter, why should it be important to you? If we don't have goals, then what are we living for? If you have nothing to work towards or strive for, nothing to reach for, and nothing that motivates you, life can be very depressing. I think a lot of people fall into the trap of living a life they're not happy with because they don't set goals or go for something greater. Some do set goals early in the year, like we talked about in my 2024 reinvention video, but they have no action plan. A goal is nothing without an action plan. It's important to have goals because goals give you something to work for. It motivates you and it inspires you to be greater and do something greater. It inspires you to become the best version of yourself. I am all about living my best life and becoming the best version of myself that I can be. And that requires setting goals for yourself. How will you know what you want out of life if you don't have any goals or any plans? So, how do you plan goals the right way? You plan goals by first deciding what your goals are. Then decide why are they your goals, and what is the reason you want to achieve them in the first place. Then you write those down and break them down into even smaller goals along the way. For example, is it your goal to start exercising? Then you can write that down and why. Just a tip, exercising to lose weight is not a great sustainable goal. Exercise can aid in weight loss, but it's much more about fitness, strength, muscle building, overall health. Exercising to be thin is a lost cause. A better goal would be, I want to exercise to build muscle, strength, fitness, and flexibility, to tone my body and to help me with stress. Then it's much easier to make that a lifestyle rather than a chore that you end up abandoning after the first day. My second goal, your second goal, could be to do a 20-minute routine every day. By the 4th week, you want to be able to do 30 minutes every day. Your goal is to see some toning by the 3rd month, and so on. And then after you have broken down the goals, you make a schedule for when you are going to take the action towards them. For example, you can do this in a table format and add the day of the week and the time, and then write down what you will be doing in each time frame. Break your day into time frames and see how you can incorporate your actions towards your goals in your schedule. I have found that Notion is an amazing app to do all of this in one place. I will link that down below. Lastly, I want to talk about getting back on track after the holidays. For me, routines come naturally. I'm a routine-oriented person. I've been putting myself into routines since I was a child. It's what keeps me feeling safe and organized. I like things to be pretty consistent every day. I don't like change. I just like consistency. I'm lucky this way. I also believe that having a routine makes you more productive and cultivates self-discipline. So if you do like a routine, or if you have fallen out of yours during the holidays, then this is the way to get back into one. Habit stacking is the first way and one of the best ways to build a routine. This means you start small, every few days you add another habit, and soon you have a great routine going. For example, the first few days you can set your alarm to wake up at 6 a.m., but you don't have to get out of bed right away. On the fourth day, perhaps, you still get up at 6 a.m., but you get up and go have a glass of water. Now you've gotten into the habit of waking up earlier and getting a glass of water. By the second week, you can start a 10-minute stretch routine after getting your water. Then in the third week, you can make that 20 minutes of light cardio. After the first month, you can start adding a healthy meal to your everyday. By the second month, you can make that 2 meals a day. And so on. Now you are getting up at 6, doing exercise, drinking water, and eating more healthy. The more habits you start cultivating slowly, one by one, the more they will add up to a healthy lifestyle in the long run. Another way to get back into routine or to start one is to review your routine and your lifestyle. What was your routine like before the holidays? Was it a healthy one, or does it need adjustment? Review all the things about your routine or lack of one and decide what your new routine will be like. Write it down in a schedule and set reminders on your phone of what you need to do when you need to do it. Take steps to make this easier for you, such as lying out your gym clothes the night before. Even if your routine does not revolve around exercise, it can be something like reading a self-help book or listening to a motivational podcast or meditating. It also doesn't just stop with the morning. What is your routine during the day? If you're at work, are you drinking water? Do you pack healthy snacks, or do you just go to the cafeteria and get something unhealthy because you didn't plan for it? Or if you work from home, are you really working hard enough, or are you distracted by the things around you? If you have a dedicated routine, then you won't be sidetracked because you will know that certain time periods are dedicated to work and other time periods you can do what you like. And you can rest and watch Netflix and scroll, although the less you can do of that, the better. Starting a routine starts with your mindset. If you keep telling yourself it is difficult to get back into it, then you are never going to do it. Instead, let this be the year that you do it anyway, even though you don't feel like doing it. Eventually, the more you do the things you are supposed to do instead of the things you want to do that aren't as good for you, even though you don't feel like it, you will stop wasting time, you will stop procrastinating, and you will get into the habit of doing them naturally. For example, I've been exercising every weekday morning since I was 14. I don't even have to think about it anymore at this point, or stress about it, or not feel like doing it. I'm so used to doing it, I just do it. I actually look forward to it, and I do it because I know what the benefits are for me. Trust me, the more you do something, the easier it will become, and you will eventually find yourself liking it. I think the last point I want to touch on, or maybe the second last point, is that it doesn't really have to be as hard as you're telling yourself it is. That's something I'm focusing on this year, asking myself, how can this be easy? What can I do or say to myself instead of saying, it's too hard, I can't do it, there is no way? Think of creative ways that you can solve the problem or address the issue in a way that is easier. A lot of the times the things we are afraid of doing or procrastinate doing is really not that hard. We have just built it up in our minds as this overwhelming thing. For example, exercise is really not that hard once you start doing it, and after you've done it for a few months, it becomes much easier. Getting up early is really not that hard once you start going to bed earlier and choosing to get up when the alarm goes off. Building a routine is really not that hard if you make a schedule and stick to it. It can be easy, it's all about your mindset. And that also touches on another point I want to talk about. Stop resenting the things that you have to do. A lot of the times we resent the thing we have to do. For example, you resent exercising because you tell yourself that it's too hard and no one else is doing it, and why should you do it, and why should you get up at 6 a.m. to do it? That's a victim mindset. Realizing that exercise has so many amazing benefits will help you stop resenting it. Do research on why exercise and eating healthy and having a routine is so good for you, and you will stop resenting it and want to implement it. For any goal you have or any routine you want to implement, start to see the reasons why it will be good for you and start doing it. Even if it's hard at first, if you stick to it and are consistent, you will get to where you want to be. This is another major goal and theme for me of this year is consistency. To just be consistent until I see results in every area of my life. This means going through the routine every single day to get to the outcome that I want. And I believe with my whole heart that I'm going to achieve it. So decide what your goals are for 2024 and decide to work towards them. To wrap it up, 2023 had a lot of great moments, and I think 2024 is going to be even better. Let me know in the comments below what are some goals that you have for 2024. I can't wait to see what this year has in store for us. And I'll see you guys in the next video.